from the Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
All right, folks, so welcome back. Have you given much thought to the Ebola virus? We're hearing the horror stories out of parts of Africa. And there was a scare in Charlotte, North Carolina, a hospital there. A patient who had been to some of those countries came in. He had some symptoms. Turns out, reportedly, that there was no Ebola, but they sealed off a whole section of the floor that he was on, and so it was a legitimate scare. I got to tell you, what's the answer? There's no cure. There's no vaccine. There's no cure. Used to be, I think, 80 to 90% of people who had it died. Now they're saying it's a different strain, kind of, and it's 60% of people who get it die. We almost had a doctor return home to this country on a plane, but he quarantined himself before he was able to come back on the plane and return to his family. So my question is, are we just going to let anybody get on planes? I mean, are we going to continue to allow, you know, here's the little thing I find strange. They banned the flights the FAA did over or to Israel from the United States for, I guess it was almost 48 hours, maybe a little less, because of the danger to the planes. We banned planes from flying over battle zones in other parts of the world, yet we know that Ebola is presenting itself in certain countries, and most of them are in parts of Africa. Are we still going to keep permitting those planes from those countries to fly into our country? And the answer is yes. Now, I'm not a CDC member. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm speaking off the top of my head as a concerned citizen, okay? I'm not hysterical. Media Matters and anybody else is going to take this completely out of context. I'm asking a question. If we don't allow planes to fly with people in them over dangerous areas because something might happen to the plane, why do we allow planes packed with people who we have no real way of knowing if they are infected with a contagious killer disease? Why do we allow those people and those planes to fly into our country? Maybe it's apples and oranges, and to an extent it is apples and oranges. So now that I've at least brought up the poor analogy of the FAA flight ban, let's just look at what we're talking about here. I heard someone say that when they get off the plane in China, they take your temperature in the airport to make sure you're not sick. I don't know how true that is. Somebody who travels a lot in the news business said that on one of the stations I was watching. I can't keep up to give you exactly who said it. We don't do that. We couldn't do that. I would imagine it would it would take forever. But my point is, and my question is, at what point do we have a conversation about considering the closer scrutiny health-wise of people who are coming to this country from countries where Ebola or any contagious fatal disease may be prevalent, or there might be a rash of cases? That's a legitimate question, and it's a legitimate concern, and I haven't heard anybody bring it up but moi. Now again, I'm not hysterical. I'm not calling for the banning of anything. I'm saying, when is it time? When is it time to take the temperature of the people getting off planes from certain countries where Ebola is a problem? I think that's a legitimate question. All right, folks, we'll be back with the founder and president of Z Street, Lori Lowenthal Marcus, and more of the Steve Malzberg Show. But first, this hour's American Moment, and we take a look at when John Wayne won his Oscar.
It was a night filled with stars as Hollywood came out in strength to honor its own at the 42nd Academy Awards. Nominated for Best Actor that year were Dustin Hoffman, Jon Voight, Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole, and John Wayne. Born Marion Morrison in Winterset, Iowa, Even at birth, the future movie icon was breaking records, weighing in at 13 pounds. After graduating from USC on a football scholarship, this young man became an aspiring actor, changed his name to John Wayne, and the rest became box office history. A veteran of some 150 films, Wayne received his first Best Actor Award nomination in 1939 for his role in The Sands of Iwo Jima. It would take more than 3 decades later, until April 7, 1970, before the Academy honored him once again. But this time, he won the Best Actor Award for his role as a one-eyed sheriff in True Grit.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think this is a great country.
Actress Maureen O'Hara, when asked to describe her friend, summed up the man best with 3 words: John Wayne, American. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.